My design is very thoughtful, it's very intentional, and it incorporates careful craftsmanship. I developed my personal aesthetic from, I think it all started from this trip to Japan. Um, I don't, I think it was always within me, but it really, like, there was like an inflection point for me. I think it was like 3 years into architecture school, and I had kind of got like, I was in a place where I was able to like look, not just see. And so I went to Japan, and I've been to Japan a couple times before, but this trip was different. And I like looked at the way that I was just in that position, in the right position to be open and to be excited about life, and just absorb all the time. And so I was in Japan, and I was just so fascinated by how everybody was so like they were so passionate about their work. And it felt like everybody had purpose. And this is not just this is not just exclusive to designers. It was also exclusive to, for example, like a barista. Like I felt like everybody there, no matter what your job was, it felt like they did it out of purpose. Like nobody was there to chase any kind of status or anything like that. Like they just wanted to be the best that they can be. So it's like, I'll give you this analogy. Like if someone was a barista at Starbucks, like it's not like they wanted to be manager. Like they just wanted to make the best damn cup of coffee. And like I really respected that kind of attitude. And when I visited the architecture, like I could really see that. And I could really see how it felt like the project was more than just for them. You know, it wasn't self-absorbed in any way. Like all the details were done to like its maximum capacity. It was so carefully done, thoughtfully done. And I just respected that so much. And it was right then and there, I think, where I hit my inflection point, and I was like, okay, well, this is how I want to go about designing things. I also want to build spaces that will not just be there for me or be there for another person or be built to last, but like be there to kind of evolve and have a life of its own. So for me, timeless design is not just a space that's built to last, but it's built to evolve. And what that means is that it's the architect's job to kind of make sure that the space has emptiness, has like room to grow. So you're not finishing a piece such that it's complete. And like with that, it becomes very stifling. And I know this is all very abstract, but it becomes very stifling for the next inhabitant. And you kind of want the next inhabitant to come in and inject their personality and inject like their experiences into the space and have it like age together with that person, and so on and so forth, of course. So we always think about user flow. um, we're always like, we always have a person in mind when we're designing a floor plan of like a kitchen, especially a space that's as functional as that. It's going to be used. So, of course, we're thinking about how this person wants to use the space. But at the same time, we're also approaching it from things like what is already existing. Like, for example, where the light hits, like, where should we leverage, like, where are the strong points of this space? Like, how do we make sure that we are basically leveraging all the best parts that has the best natural light? At the same time, we are like, we review the whole house. It's kind of similar to a UX designer, like you're designing a user flow. And so you're thinking about, most of the time you have a client in mind, but sometimes you're developing your own property. And so you are thinking of a user in mind. And so you create this narrative of how you want this person to use your space. And especially in such a functional space like a kitchen, like you're going to have to incorporate certain lifestyles. So you're kind of like winging it a little bit. Like you're thinking, okay, I want this person likes to entertain. And so this person's going to have a big island. But at the same time, it's also the decision that makes sense, because maybe this island is going to be the centerpiece, and it's also going to be like it's also going to be at the point where it receives like the most light. So it's like all these things will have to start making sense, but there are all these parameters that kind of come together to form what is the best decision.